McCaffrey is in apartment 6. He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene. Junk.
Isn't that the cop who solved the big case and got promoted?
Grosvenor McCaffrey! Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
I'll go get our wheels.
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
There he is, officer!
Give it up, LAPD! McCaffrey, you're under arrest. On suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? So what's that Dahlia fuck?
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the dog?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together.
I'll hold you to that.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
He ran the light on Olympic, and we finally collared him on Temple. We got a stakeout down on Second.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're gonna need to do better if you don't want to swing for this.
I was having a political meeting in my apartment.
Cheese and crackers for the fifth columnist.
Some of these people will corroborate your story.
I won't give up names of party members.
Good. It's your funeral.
want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn. Is standing around saying nothing, is this some kind of mental torture?
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
McCaffrey gave you up, Tiernan. He says he saw you go into your hotel with Evelyn.
I met Evelyn at the public library. We would read for a while and then go for a drink. Last night, we went back to my hotel room and had some more to drink. I must have passed out. I woke up and she was gone.
What time was this?
Around midnight, maybe later.
And there's no one who can confirm this.
No, there isn't. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at it once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
You don't like McCaffrey, do you, Tiernan?
He's full of the... common manner.
Why did you run? You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
How about half of Augusta Summers' last correspondence with her daughter?
What are you talking about?
After you were done beating Evelyn, you searched her and found her mother's letter. That old lady's anguish amused you.
I know nothing about a letter or Evelyn's goddamn mother.
So what was it doing on your writing desk?
I don't know, but if I didn't put it there, somebody else did. Try exercising your powers of deduction on that.
I need a drink.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
McCaffrey gave you up, Tiernan. He says he saw you go into your hotel with Evelyn.
I met Evelyn at the public library. We would read for a while and then go for a drink. Last night, we went back to my hotel room and had some more to drink. I must have passed out. I woke up and she was gone.
What time was this?
Around midnight, maybe later.
And there's no one who can confirm this.
No, there isn't. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute, but, you know, I'm not so sure.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
Well, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
I want the truth. I think you broke into McCaffrey's apartment and planted a lug wrench there.
I didn't do that, and there's no way you can prove any different. As hard as this is for you to contemplate, I really loved Evelyn. She was kind and gentle to me.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear. Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I'm just praying the prince. I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thank you. You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore. She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have.
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot at a prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead. First platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Then we rally with the first, then try for the Namboos.
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Namboos and Enfilade. Mate, we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant, get back off this fucking bridge. They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions. We only have minutes.
I'm in charge here, Sergeant.
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant.
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant.
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot. You have 10 men left. My orders are to save what's left. Move out!
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case. But we have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
No one else but the killer knew about this message. Another snippet from the Shelley poem. To suffer woes which hope thinks infinite, to forgive wrongs darker than death or night. If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrellson.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Muller
Hang
case.
on a moment, Skipper.
Let me finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder.
Ah, fuck it.
While yet
I
the
knew this
music
run was too
pealed
good to be
along,
true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
It's supposed to... Forget what it's supposed to... What does he want?
Where are you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right? A guy that God hates, chains him up.
It's an allegory, Rusty.
What? Story with 2 meanings. A symbolic meaning. But that's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square? Could it be that easy?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain, thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.
Hey!
All those cases, Rusty. What have I been telling you all along?
We gotta get this guy.
I know. Enough women have died.
Yeah, and it's our asses on the line too, Phelps. You heard what the captain said. The department is not gonna take responsibility for all those bad convictions.
Success is a double-edged sword.
Let's just get this sick pervert and have it done with.
Rather you than me, Phelps. You know the local hobos use that as a retreat.
There is a cave, all overgrown with trailing, odorous plants which curtain out the day. Where next? Elizabeth Short. Betty Short. Black Dahlia.
Elizabeth Short's Social Security card.
Jesus Christ.
That's not all. There's another stanza from Shelley.
Can you work it out? You got a city map? See if you can work out where he's taking us. I don't like this freak leading us around by the nose.
Decent guy.
Him. It's really him, the fuck who killed the Dahlia. Can you believe this? He's leading us.
It's his game, Rusty. He may want someone to catch him, but he's extremely dangerous. I doubt if he will give up easily.
Suits me down to the fucking ground. We clip this fuck and we get citation. What a day to be a cop. That pencil-pushing Parker won't be able to shove me aside after this.
All units also needs help. 415 and shots fired. 313 Bunker Hill Avenue. 313 Bunker Hill Avenue. Unit to handle code 3 identified.
Can I help you, sir?
Detectives, LAPD. This is very important, sir. How do we get to the top of the chandelier?
You what?
Have a little faith, pal. We're in a real hurry.
Head up to the top floor. There's an access panel and a ladder in the maintenance room.
Let's go.
I'm going out there, Rusty.
Better you than me. Be careful. Could be a trap.
From the temples high of man's ear and eye, roofed over sculptures and poesy. Where have I seen that? Deirdre Muller's missing watch.
Jesus Christ, Cole, get off that goddamn thing.
Find a rope, Rusty!
There isn't time. See if you can swing that thing from side to side. Get it over the edge, then jump for it.
Swing, damn it. That was too close.
Yeah, well, the higher you climb, the further you fall.
Let's get out of here.
Another Dahlia clue?
No. A yellow gold wristwatch.
The Molar Dame.
Yes. And a scrap of the poem.
Another location.
If I can work it out. He keeps mementos from all his victims.
This guy needs to be taken out of circulation.
He takes pleasure at stringing us along, demonstrating how much smarter he is.
You can enjoy it while it lasts. Got you now, genius. Coming for you. I'm pulling rank here, Cole. I'm not hauling myself up there. Tiger.
You'd slow me down anyway, old-timer. Sometimes a step backwards is a step in the right direction. Round which death laughed, sepulchred emblems of dead destruction, ruin within ruin. So this is a treasure hunt. Our Lady of Guadalupe, ripped from Antonia's necklace.
What is it this time?
The religious medal from the Maldonado case.
The Dahlia, Moeller, Maldonado. When this gets out...
We still have to find the guy, Rusty.
Another poem. Well, you must have some idea, right? Come on, Phelps. We're on a roll here. Don't let me down.
Continue to respond.
We're gonna catch hell for this. Banging up innocent men.
The newspapers will crucify the guy. They won't have time to wonder about our mistakes. We'll be okay, Rusty, as long as we catch the guy.
I hope you're right, Cole. We'll be famous if we make this case.
All units in the vicinity in any Central unit. A 211 and shots fired, 410 South Flower Street. Units in Canada Code 3 identify.
You know, putting the siren on might remove the element of surprise from your hit and runs.
These are my best shoes, Phelps. I'll leave you to it.
Very funny.
Whoa! Get a move on, Cole. Those boards are sinking. You want to end up like the other fossils? The gangway snakes around, Phelps. Can you see it through the tar?
Easy.
How you doing out there?
I'd be doing better if you were the one trying to get across this thing. Steady.
You don't want to fall in now, Phelps.
That's at the forefront of my thinking. A sphere which is as many thousand spheres. Okay, where to now? One of Teresa Terreldson's shoes.
What is it?
An open-toed white shoe, and another stanza from the poem.
Oh, I really thought that hobo bum did the Terrelson broad.
Confessions from the insane aren't the most credible evidence, Rusty.
Is this thing over?
It's all part of his power over us, making us run round all over the city for the crumbs he's leaving us.
So if we keep this up, we can find the guy? So this guy looks out for women in bars who've had too much to drink.
Who are emotionally disturbed.
Need a shoulder to cry on, he plies them with booze.
Probably offers them a lift home.
Then beats their brains out and strangles them. Could be any schmo hanging out in the bar.
No, not anyone. He displays the bodies, leaves us messages. For all the violence.
On it goes. When do you think we'll reach the end of this thing?
The center of the proverbial labyrinth? How long's a piece of string?
What's the rush?
How many unsolved murders have we got in this city? You ever been in here, Galloway?
No. I have no intention of going in. I heard that thing's tricky. I'm gonna wait here and have a quiet smoke. Think about hidden meetings.
Thrones, altars, judgment seats, and prisons. No, it couldn't be. Once belonging to Celine Axford Henry.
See? That was easy.
I found Celine Henry's ring.
How far does this thing go? How did we not catch this nut job?
the guy from the papers. Solve that big case.
He's leaving us this trail of evidence. Why?
Vanity. He wants to see if there's anyone out there smart enough to catch him.
He leaves us evidence, but every location is a trap.
He's testing us, physically and mentally, to see whether we are worthy of him.
The Titan guy, who had the stouts with God.
Very good. You thinking about reading some Shelley?
All that egghead stuff? I'm sticking to the funny papers and the form guide. You sleep better at night.
All units, officer detail, 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's Cafe, 391 Broadway. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Phelps!
There's the throne up there.
Now it's just a matter of getting to it. Jesus, now look what you did. Hang on, Cole. I'll get you off of there.
You gotta make it to the next platform. Get that thing as close as you can, then jump.
Place he calls home. End of the line. typewriter ring. Evelyn Summers. No! Come on! No!
I thought the whole thing was gonna come crashing down on him.
I thought so too. He murdered Evelyn Summers, Rusty. The last trophy was her ring.
You find another piece of the poem?
Yes. The last piece.
You sure, Cole?
Let's find out. might see this as a cry for help.
God's sake, Phelps. I'm not trying to justify this.
Hear me out, Rusty. This guy has been successfully slaughtering women in this town for half a year, maybe longer. He researches who he kills, and then plants...
All units to citizen reports a 211 in progress at 9th and Grand. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Reminds me of my days as an altar boy.
There's a light coming from the house.
Nothing hasty, gentlemen. Keep your hands where I can see them, or I'll be forced to redecorate the stucco with your entrails.
We're from the LAPD, sir. I'm gonna tell you only once to lower your weapon.
The LAPD, you say? Is it really possible you could have found me after all this time? How interesting.
Put down the gun, shitbird. Last warning.
This boorish ignoramus could never have found me. It was you, wasn't it? Do you remember me, detective?
The temp bartender.
Yes, you found me. You know what I'm capable of, and yet you walk in here like lambs dressed for the slaughter.
We'll see about that. Where did he go?
Down the tunnel?
We can't let the son of a bitch get away.
The house, Rusty. There must be another entrance into the house.
LAPD, give yourself up.
If we can bring him in alive, there's enough physical evidence for an airtight case.
You heard him, Cole. He's fucking nuts. What are the chances of hauling him out of here alive?
I hate to think what he's done with this thing. It's the basis for all his riddles. Prometheus defied the cruel gods. This guy thinks he's doing the same thing.
Defying gods can be hazardous to your health.
You realize this must have been the place, Rusty.
We're going down there.
I'll go. Call for backup and keep an eye out above ground and see where this thing comes out. Don't let me down, Rusty.
You're an interesting man, detective. Why the police force? You're obviously overqualified.
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist.
a sense you're looking for personal redemption? Do you think we have something in common?
Surrender now, or I will use deadly force.
Are you comfortable out of the light, officer? Are you comfortable here?
This thing has come to an end. You know that. You're exactly what I expected. We were looking for a low achiever.
Where's the press, Cap? I think Phelps and I should get a medal for this. This has got to be the case of the year, right? The case of the century when you think about it.
Are you finished?
Yes, Skipper.
Good. Because there won't be any press briefings or commendations.
What are you talking about? We got the werewolf, the guy who killed the Dahlia, killed all the other broads.
You got no one. Mason was a ghost.
Can you at least tell us why, Captain?
Mason is the half-brother of one of the most highly elected officials in this country.
How high?
Beyond the moon for mere mortals like us, Rusty. There'll be no more mention of him. The city owes you both, but there'll be no mileage in ever bringing this up again.
What's going to happen to the suspects in the cases, Captain? I won't be a part of that.
A bit of missing evidence at the grand jury. A procedural error here, a mistake there. They'll all be quietly let go. The DA knows how we'll have to play it.
That's it?
I'm afraid it is. And I have some news for you, Phelps. No more rooting around in the entrails of cadavers and corpses for you. The head of Vice has asked the chief for you. I'm reluctant to see you go to the glory boards of advice, but my hands are tied. Go home to that lovely wife of yours. Celebrate your promotion.
Breathe out, kid. You'll go purple. I'm scared, Sarge. Everybody's scared, kid. Anyone who says he isn't is a damn liar. How many times have you been in combat, Sarge? I was with Raider Battalion on Peleliu my first time.
Was it bad?
It's always bad.
Will this be bad?
As bad as it gets, kid. But you stick by the Marine next to you, and he will stick by you.
So, some of the guys, they aren't very friendly, Sarge.
They've lost a lot of their friends in the last couple of days, kid. They think if they don't get to know you, that they won't have to grieve for you if you get killed. They're wrong. It doesn't work that way. Don't worry. No Marine in this company will let you down.
Phelps, welcome to Vice. This is your new partner, Roy Earl. Take a seat. A special request was made to transfer you to Ad Vice. We need a man with your kind of starch on this desk, son. We have 2 dead Negroes found in an apartment this morning on Yucca Street. Number 6358, apartment 5.
We got better things to be doing than wasting our time on 2 dead junkies.
Did I ask your opinion, detective? 2 men dead on U.S. Army issue morphine. That makes it an Ad Vice case. Beat it!
Yes, sir. You and the lieutenant have some history?
You could say that. We used to be partners. So, you're working with the big boys now, Cole?
I guess so, Roy. I thought homicide was the primo assignment.
That may be the case. I asked for you personally, Phelps. I had to pull a few strings to get you over to Advice. How does it feel?
The lieutenant seems to think I'm doing okay.
Okay? Don't get humble on me, Phelps. You're doing great. You're the department pinup boy. War hero and crime fighter. What a combination.
I can assure you I'm no war hero, detective.
Let's rouse some hopheads.
I just wish you'd hurry up and propose already.
Nice car, Roy. Is it department issue?
No, this is my sled. You can't be seen.
There goes a week's wages.
No, this is my sled. You can't be seen slumming it in a Nash if you're in Vice, Cole. Meanwhile, we got needle freaks kissing it goodbye all over Central Avenue.
Any in the vicinity officer needs assistance, 1825 North Highland Avenue, 1825 North Highland Avenue. Unit to handle code 2 identify.
Who in God's name would eat at that hovel? They really picked a prize shithole for our first date.
It's up the stairs, detectives. Round the corner, last door on the left.
Let me through. I just want a quick look, is
Make it
all.
into the paper?
Clear this area immediately.
I'm all done. Your show now.
Carruthers.
Phelps?
I've been reassigned to Advice.
What have we got? 2 stiffs. Overdosed. Been dead a couple of days.
Government issue morphine. We use the same syrettes in Okinawa.
Fucking Negro junkies can't take supply this pure.
You know these guys?
I know of them. The younger one's a two-bit horn player by the name of Cornell Tyree. The other one works in distribution. Started using a little too much of his own product, and Jack D took exception. He wasn't born that ugly. His name's Lamont. Tyrone Lamont.
So who's supplying the drugs?
That's easy. Whoever knocked off the wharves in San Pedro. Jack Dragna, Mickey Cohen. Dope's been all upside down ever since Jimmy Utley started the long walk at Quentin.
You talk about it like it's a system.
It was a system. But those days are long gone.
We are supposed to uphold the law.
Yeah, and we do. But we can't change people. The truth is, everyone wants a license to get a little dirty now and then. Our job is to keep it manageable.
That's how you see it?
See it any other way, and you better forget about being a vice cop.
Can we get on with this? Today, preferably?
Tyrone Lamont, not even 23 years old.
Another day, another dollar.
A small chance in life is probably better than no chance. Black Caesar, from the joint across the street.
Find anything interesting?
These clowns lived on popcorn?
Must have been messy eaters. It's all over the floor.
Never the same, are they?
I wonder what's the correlation between love of the needle and love of the music.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
Some kind of fruit, a bell, and win. A strange doodle. Took his jolt and drifted off. And I suppose his friend wasn't in any condition to notice that he had stopped breathing. One cigarette is enough to knock you out for combat trauma. Two of them will stop your heart. Looks like it was always going to end this way. They say only the good die young. I hope it was true in your case. Who is JJ? And why do these two care about his taste in music?
Never the same, are they?
bit heavy for an empty cup. They've been getting their fix right over the counter in broad daylight.
The Emperor across the street appears to shift a lot of popcorn. Let's shake him down.
Help you? Detectives Phelps and Durrell, LAPD. We're inquiring into the deaths
Hand
of...
over the popcorn, numbskull, before we kick the door in. Get that son of a bitch. Stay on it.
Eddie, help me out, man. They're trying to kill me. You gotta help me out. What the hell going on here? Morgan! That you?
You picked the wrong cop, you fucking animals.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Stop resisting, asshole. You're only making it worse.
I ain't scared.
What's your name?
Morgan.
Half an answer is no answer to me, asshole.
Fleetwood Morgan.
Keep an eye on him, Roy, while I take a look around.
Keep very still, Fleetwood. Don't give me an excuse to shoot you.
Should be stamped on the reverse by the issuer. Maybe Morgan can give us something on this Jones character. These number slips might affect your tone, Fleetwood. Doesn't give me anything to go on. Doesn't tell me anything. Morphine. It might not be filling, but I'm sure it's satisfying.
About time we heard what Fleetwood here has to say, Cole.
We're inquiring about the deaths of two men in an apartment across the street, Fleetwood. We want answers.
Of course. I'll do my best, mister.
You sold the drugs to Cornell Tyree and Tyrone Lamont.
Oh, I sell fried steaks and black-eyed peas.
You're lying, Fleetwood. We know that you supplied them.
I don't know nothing about no drugs. All I do is my 10 hair flipping burgers. Can you prove any different?
Flipping burgers and strapping jolts of morphine to the bottom of popcorn cups, Fleetwood. Now, I want the truth. Who supplies the drugs?
Cat by the name of Armstrong Edwards. All right, brings the stuff around about once a day.
I know Armstrong. He's a two-bounce, strictly small time. Who's he working for, Fleetwood?
Jermaine Jones.
We have you for the hop and resisting arrest. Tell us about the numbers if you want our help.
Look, the numbers are the white man's tax on poor folk. All right, now what else you want to know?
We have an address on the slips. We're gonna go down there now and rat you out, Fleetwood. Tell whoever it is that you rolled over and gave them up.
No. Look, I've been cooperative, okay? Now you gotta help me some.
Fleetwood, I'm going to speak personally to the judge on your behalf.
A name, Fleetwood.
Look, he's a real slick dude. Wears a hat and swings a cane. Goes by the name of Merlin. All right, I ain't got a last name.
See you at the station, Fleetwood.
But you're gonna help me, right?
Of course, kid. You helped us out. We always like to repay a favor. Can you see that Fleetwood gets a nice cell, Wallace? One with a window and a nice fresh pillow.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Jermaine Jones musical booking agency.
Just a moment, Detective. Jermaine Jones. The office is listed as 5528 Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks.
Damn!
You know, we got a siren, Phelps. I heard you were in the Blue Room the other night. Shouldn't you have been at home? Tucked in bed with the wife and kids?
Where I go is your business?
It couldn't have had anything to do with a certain delightful but damaged German girl, could it?
I don't know what you're talking about, Roy.
All units, officers need help.
I was Hopgood.
Hollywood and Highland officers need help.
Who?
211 in progress and shots fired.
Marlon Hopgood, your informer. He was my corroborating witness in the Bishop case.
Oh, right. Marlon. You're not still sore about that, are you? You made the case without him.
He was an accessory to the abuse of the girl, Roy.
As long as Hollywood exists, it's going to be chewing up starry-eyed little girls. Marlon was small time. You caught the big fish. And look how much good it did your career.
Detectives Phelps and Earl, LAPD.
The name's Merlin Odie. I run a strictly legitimate bookmakers detective.
So that's not an illegal wire service that your colleagues are running? And the number slips that I've been picking up all morning with this address on them have nothing to do with you?
I'll pay my kick to the WAPs, and they pay their cut to the LAPD. You can't go shaking me down.
You're a loudmouth motherfucker, aren't you? Anyone ever tell you that criminals are supposed to keep their mouths shut? Stay where you are while we look around.
Probably nothing. Nothing significant. Cohen took over the wire service from Siegel, right? With this quantity, we're looking at a high-level trafficking charge. Thanks for the paper trail, Merlin. I think Ramez's place is our next stop. Oh, that's quite a win for a dime, Merlin. You better start talking.
God damn it. Get after him, Phelps.
Give it up, Artie.
That cherry pie was deep.
Stop right there, Artie, or I will shoot.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
All right, relax, motherfucker, you got me.
Nice wand, Merlin. Too bad you couldn't pull off your vanishing act.
Make your joke, smart guy, but don't damage that. That there's a valuable antique.
You don't say. Maybe you ought to have a look at this, Cole.
Adi has Jose Ramez in his pocket. Ramez must have forgotten his lucky numbers. Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome.
You distribute for the Jews. You're a patsy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll distribute for the LAPD, motherfucker. If this is a shakedown of
Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome. If you're not arresting me, I have bets to take.
You distribute for the Jews. You're a patsy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll distribute for the LAPD, motherfucker.
Looks like I was mistaken. Very cute, Merlin. You could be in the spotlight for this, or just a bit part player that the DA hopefully overlooks. How do you want it to play out?
Feigned sincerity. I like it.
Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome.
You distribute for the Jews. You're a patsy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll distribute for the LAPD, motherfucker. If this is the shit.
Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome.
You distribute for the Jews. You're a patsy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll distribute for the LAPD, motherfucker. If this is the shake...
Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome.
You're giving up and going home? Get back here, Cole.
Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome.
Okay, Merlin, behave like a moron. The two dead guys. I'm telling the DA that you sold them the hop. Are you hearing this?
Loud and clear, motherfucker. I have chips, and I'm not throwing my cards in this easy.
Ramez seems to owe you a lot of money.
We all owe somebody.
The truth, Merlin. Do you know that stealing that surplus is a federal beef? That means that all the payoffs will count for nothing if the feds get involved. Do you want that kind of feed?
How do you think you can tie someone like me into a major operation like that? I'm done, Jim.
Would you like to calculate the odds on you going to prison for a very long time, Merlin?
I'm not going nowhere. I've paid my contributions, and I'm not getting hustled by you.
We're only interested in morphine. Army surplus morphine. What do you have to say about that?
I heard about that. Big robbery on the ship. Ain't my line of work. I prefer something with a sporting outcome.
Okay, Merlin, behave like a moron. The two dead guys. I'm telling the DA that you sold them the hop. Are you hearing this?
Loud and clear, motherfucker. I have chips, and I'm not throwing my cards in this easy.
Ramez seems to owe you a lot of money.
We all owe somebody.
So it has nothing to do with the proceeds of the morphine shipment?
It's a gambling debt. The Heaps took over the wire service and screwed me. Now I just do what I'm told. Run numbers and shift dope. Jose's no different. He just thinks he's a big man that can run up tabs.
You're not the guy we want, Merlin, but we're taking you in. Maybe some time in a cell will help you remember something worthwhile.
Fuck you, and fuck you. You'll never put a charge on me.
Take this bum in. Take the long way around. And don't be gentle with him. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address for Ramez Removals. That's Ramez, R-A-M-E-Z.
Just checking. Ramez Removals, corner Sunset and Wilton. Owned by a Jose Victor Ramez.
Thanks for your help.
You can drive.
All right, where to? Look at this place. I'm guessing not much talent comes out of this talent agency.
Here we are. Jermaine Jones, 238.
Hey, who let you in?
Jermaine Jones.
Don't bother getting up. Your flunky Fleetwood Morgan just snitched you out.
I wasn't planning to. Now, you think you could tell me who the hell you are?
LAPD. We'd like to take a look around.
The hell you will, motherfucker. You carrying a warrant?
No, do we need one? Search the place, Cole.
What do you think you're gonna find, policeman? Huh?
No good to me.
You ain't allowed to do this. I got rights.
This isn't what we're looking for. I hope none of this stuff is purloined, Mr. Jones.
I have a receipt for that thing. Somewhere.
Scott Phantom. Fine radio. Shortwave, AM and FM. My father has a Scott. No wonder this thing is sounding a little muffled, Jermaine.
Brennan! Wilt! Get over here. Take these assholes apart.
You heard the boss.
Is this the best you got? These mugs are dope to the eyeball.
Come on, beat these sons of bitches down. God damn. I don't believe this. Are you too good for anything?
Sit tight, asshole. Pretend you're at the parlor getting your nails done. Cole, you better search through that stuff in the radio before you brace our friend here.
Too much for felony possession. I'm thinking intent to supply. Your friend Fleetwood was also a betting man, Jermaine. This must be how those two bums standing guard take their wages. How many starving musicians pay with perfect, clean 50s? Ramez Removals. They must have taken special care delivering this for you. Lamont and Tyree are dead. At a stretch, the DA could have you on felony murder for supplying stolen government...
Tyrone and Cornell are dead?
They're on a slab downtown with the ME examining their last meal. Popcorn washed down with morphine.
You offering me a deal?
I have a pet judge who hates blacks. He'll give you 50 years for your two buddies. Another 30 for stealing from Uncle Sam. You'll be out by the time you're 110. Imagine the changes you'll see.
I get the message. How much is this gonna cost me?
Who supplies the morphine?
I don't know nothing about that.
I think you and your cronies are responsible for the theft from the wharves. If you want to save your skin, stop lying to us, Jones.
So, I look like some kind of criminal genius to you. That what you saying, motherfucker? Prove that I was in San Pedro and that I stole that shit. You're...
Lamont and Tyree are dead. At a stretch, the DA could have you on felony murder for supplying stolen government...
Tyrone and Cornell are dead?
They're on a slab downtown with the ME examining their last meal. Popcorn washed down with morphine.
You offering me a deal?
I have a pet judge who hates blacks. He'll give you 50 years for your two buddies. Another 30 for stealing from Uncle Sam. You'll be out by the time you're 110. Imagine the changes you'll see.
I get the message. How much is this gonna cost me?
Who supplies the morphine?
I don't know nothing about that.
So we make you for all of it. You're the fall guy from Mickey Cohen.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm a colored man. You see any Jew boys running around here? I collect my cut. Lenny the Fink controls the action.
Lenny who?
Lenny Finkelstein, Mickey's dipshit brother-in-law.
What's the score with Remez removals?
I brought a radio from there. That's all.
So when we visit Remez removals and tell them that we want a special bookcase or wardrobe to hide our dope in, they're going to be copacetic?
And when we tell them their good friend Jermaine sent us and said they could do a nice deal for the LAPD.
I could use an act like you two. Those fucks Abbott and Costello are on the slide. Hollywood could use another couple of deeply unfunny white bread humps like you.
Very good, Jermaine. You have character. Now cough it up.
Remez is a good friend of Lenny the Fink. You getting the picture?
What is the link between the morphine and the numbers slips?
There is no link. You're wasting your time here. You got that glassy look about you. You sure you're not hopped up or something? You got that glassy look about you. You sure you're not hopped up or something?
You're lying to me, Jones. Tell me about Merlin.
Who? I don't know anyone named Merlin.
Fleetwood Morgan will testify that you and Merlin are expanding out of illegal gambling and into drugs.
Okay, so I buy from a cat goes by the name of Merlinotti. Merlin runs the lottery for the Boy. The Fink has a new line in drugs. You squeal me out, I deny ever telling you.
Tell us about Adi.
Adi's a gambler. Fronts points on football games, fights, the horses, numbers. Chicken crossing the road. Motherfucker will take the odds on anything.
Take them all in.
We have a deal, right?
We're after the morphine. I'll speak to the DA on your behalf. You have my word.
That's that guy.
So Mickey Cohen or Jack Dragna stole the Army's surplus morphine, and they are selling it on the streets?
Looks that way.
But the mob wants return customers, not corpses. Why haven't they cut the morphine?
Good question, Detective.
This robbery happened months ago, right?
The beginning of the year.
So why are the proceeds suddenly turning... Mickey Cohen runs the dope rackets?
Mickey does what he's told. Benny Siegel will take a cut of any action that's going.
I thought Jack Dragna was...
Dragna's an old-time greaser. He keeps his head down and pays his dues. Word is he's gonna clip Bugsy.
Whose word?
What does it matter? One lowlife killing another lowlife makes our job easier.
LAPD. We're here to see Jose Ramez.
What's it about?
Routine inquiries, sir. Can you tell us where we can find him?
You missed him. He was in the delivery truck, just went out.
God damn it. 11K calling KGPL.
Go ahead, 11K.
11K requesting assistance in pursuit of narcotic suspects aboard a GM delivery truck. Commercial license David Charles 457.
Roger, 11K.
What is this lunatic think he's doing?
Don't hit the...
Here comes the cavalry.
We're not playing around here. Take this clown off the road.
Step on it, huh? Just give me a little closer. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. Keep it steady, and I'll try to bust his tires.
He's going left onto Hollywood. Get alongside him and take him out.
That's it, Cole. You did it. It's truck's history.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Jose Ramos, you're being arrested on suspicion of supplying illegal drugs, resisting arrest, and for malicious damage to LAPD property.
Hey, hold your horses. I supply furniture, not drugs. And that thing back there, that was an accident. Some furniture came loose. That's all.
Save it for the DA, Chico.
Keep an eye on him. We're going to take a look around inside.